He say, she say, we say, I say, hearing out them points of views when I see it my way. Yes it goes, yes it knows, maybe so's, probably not. Shoulds and coulds, do's and don'ts, your wills and won'ts is how you rock. Politicians and religions, on your house or are you renting? Is you married? Is you single? Meta interest when you mingle, turn out to be someone you into. So how long before the bed get wrinkled? Bring the children when they tripping. Is it time out or do you whip them? Opinions and decisions, hunches, intuitions, may or may not get it, cause people experience different. Check the prejudice at the door. Speak behind you give the flow. Tell the truth if it's sweet or sour, cause the hour we spitting that fire.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hey, Anika, beautiful Gemini. Hey, Guy Wendell Blount, how are you? Black Dutchy, I see y'all up in here this early morning. Now, some of you getting ready for work, taking the kids to the summer what you call it, the summer programs and things that nature and all that. You know, saying some of y'all going on vacation, family reunions, getting ready for the holiday. I told y'all what I was gonna do for my holiday a few days ago when I was on. I told y'all what I was doing for my holiday. I had to take some time off because I got some things to do to get ready for the holiday. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not going out of town with my family, but I still got a lot of things to do and I want to be prepared for it. So I had to take some time off. But I was still in tuned. Don't worry, I was still in tuned what was said and everything else. And I know they come with a partial verdict. And we don't know what that verdict is, but most of us is believing that it's guilty because they're deadlocked on the RICO charges. And for the questions that they ask, is it distribution if you buy drugs and you give it to someone, whether you purchase the drugs or not? If I give somebody drugs, I can be charged with distribution according to the law. And uh, the fact I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because we have people, whether state or federal, we have people who are addicted to drugs, right? We have addicts, whether they have money, whether they are poor, we have addicts. And on this internet, I have been speaking about justice and injustice for 7 years. As a matter of fact, my channel was initiated from that. Even for when it was a podcast with my co-host at the time. And I've always stemmed and spoke on how the law is. Even back then, I didn't know it was going to manifest to this level. I didn't know. At the time, we just started off, and I think we had 50 people. And then it was 200. And then by the time she left, I only had 500. I never would imagine that it would have been 30,000 people listening to me speak about what I speak on my channel. So as I was not on for the last 2 days, I was not on because I had things to do, but I was not on because I wanted to disconnect myself from the Diddy's trial for a couple of days. Because when you when you go through what I've gone through with Bill Cosby being a man of in his 80s and was sentenced, and the way they walked him out that courtroom in handcuffs for the world to see. And the way that they did R. Kelly, I just needed a break from Diddy. But I was more upset why I took, some time off. And I just decided to focus on what I wanted to do for the holiday. I got you guys' emails I got you guys' emails. Yes, I wasn't trying to ignore you, so forgive me. But you have to understand when you get on this internet and you speak about the things and you put it into, um, you foresee things happening before it even happen, and you got an audience that grew with you and they see it too, and you see how they doing your black men, it gets to you. It gets to you. And I don't want to be connected that heavy into another case like that because I'm already yelling free R. Kelly and we already, trying to do what we do. So I don't want to be connected with that. But what gets me is people, black people, have this disdain against one another to where they don't care. And then they have this notion that they care about victims. I'm so sick and tired of black people pretending like they are speaking up for victims. I am so tired of it. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of it. I just don't know what to do. I'm so tired of men and women saying that. Really, I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of men not caring. I'm so tired of men will say anything for clicks and views. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of men who are wealthy, don't do anything about it. I am sick and tired of it. And it's going to have to take them to fall. Me saying it for 7 years and 30,000 people following now and co-blogged with people and been on panels and talking and things of that nature for all these years. And now people starting to say some things. I can't say I was the only one on the internet speaking on injustice, but the shit that I was talking, I feel throughout this internet world, I was the only one. Now, there's a lot of people who are speaking on a lot of stuff, but with the common sense that I bring to this shit, I feel like that was the only one. And the injustice is what I have a problem with. Is when and I don't, like I say, I have to bring race into some things sometimes because I don't really like to, because it's cliche and I really don't like to do that. But it just brings, when certain people get into trouble and it's with dealing in drugs, they're an addict. They're an addict. When we get into drugs, we're distributing. Even if we are an addict. So I said, well, then you find yourself when you speak on this stuff, and you find yourself saying, well, where were all they when Bill Cosby was going down? And where were all they when Kels was going down? Now some of them starting to come out now that they see Diddy come down. But then there were going to be more. And it's like black people, especially the men, love to see their own fall. They love it. Like if they rich and famous, they got the life and they're this and they that, they love to see them fall. Love to see them fall. I just never seen that. I never seen that. And it was somebody sent me, I don't even want to talk about it, but anyway, people say that. I've heard people say that they don't care, them rich people problems or whatever else. That kills hope. Do you understand? Like, everybody is not going to be the chosen one to be rich and famous. But you don't know who you give birth to if they're going to be the person that's going to be rich and famous. It kills hope. That's what it does for a whole culture of people. So when you get that jealous to that extent to where you say, they rich, I don't give a fuck, let them fall, whatever, that kills hope. It kills it. It kills hope to a culture that needed the most, where the whole world and other cultures are against, even themselves. It kills hope. When I said on this internet, it's New York. It's New York. I said it's injustice. I said I believe he's innocent. Matter of fact, I can say I know he's innocent. I don't have to know the man. But if we gonna go by what we hear and what we see and what we know, because they say when you're in the courtroom, you get a whole different experience and vibe. And I understand, and I believe that. But it don't take but common sense from black and white to know what the charges was. The one thing we do know is that we were gaslit. The fake ass SWAT on the houses to make it look like it was coming down. A year or two before that, the arrest of Keefe Lee, as if Diddy had a connection with that, so we coming down on him. Finally, these are, because you know when you murk, there's no statute of limitations for sure on that. So we have that, and we have this SWAT that we call this helicopter team and news team, and you all over the blogs, and then you get a lawsuit. It all stems from a lawsuit. No undercover work anymore, right? I knew what was gonna happen. We knew what was gonna happen. We knew what was gonna happen before the SWAT swatted the houses. We knew what was gonna happen before Keefe D got arrested and said what he was saying. We knew what was going to happen over here. When I had 13,100 subscribers, we knew right then, and even before then, when I had 1,000, we knew what was going to happen. There was 6 months ago, we were saying, who next? So, when it was Kels and Bill Cosby, nobody gave a damn. Told you was going to be next. We didn't know which one, but all of you going down. All of you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Dr. Dre, Snoop, Tyler Perry, all of you going to go down. They cannot have too many of you becoming rich and famous, because then you're going to start getting powers and things of that nature. But they're going to have power over you, because the moment you say no, the moment you do something you don't like, you're going to have some charges. And these charges are just a test. Oh yeah. Let me tell you how it works. For those of you in the back. For those of you, let me tell you how it works. They come out with a rumor, or they come out with a charge. Whether it sticks or it doesn't stick. You get what I'm saying? Whether it sticks or it doesn't stick. It goes away. Years later, some more charges can come. Right? Somebody can say the same thing somebody said 10 years previous. That person's still alive, go join that person, and they're going to come out, and then more people will come out. And now there's a lot of people, and people believe truth comes in quantities. This new millennium era, because the baby boomers are old, Gen X's is getting there. They're getting to the retirement age. So the millennials believe different. And they're going to take down all you old heads in your 50s and 60s, 70s and 80s. Because you learned about generational wealth. we get you with a RICO, we can seize those things. We know that we don't have to have a lot for you. We don't have to investigate for you. We don't have to go undercover no more. They don't have to do none of that. We have a thing called social media. And mainstream media. Now let me tell you this. Now social media, mainstream media was concerned. So what they did was they decided to collab with bloggers now. And the bloggers hoping they could get accepted with mainstream media. And this is why I said the other day, if you have 500,000 subscribers, why the hell would you need to go mainstream when you in competition with them? Because we are a type of people that need validation. I don't know why we feel that way, but we do. When you go mainstream, you get controlled. So what you do, you teach yourself how to be controlled before even being controlled so you can be accepted. Because your self-esteem ain't there. And that's just with all of the big bloggers. You speak, you say certain words, your channel grow. You defend certain people, you at a standstill. That's how this goes. That's how this goes. This is exactly how it goes. But when I said years ago, I said, look, it's New York. My thing was the men with wealth. They even had a man who owned a retail giant who was charged with something, the same similar thing with Diddy. And they said he too old. They didn't tell that to Bill Cosby. We don't do shit anymore. So if Diddy go down, we cannot say the 12 jurors did it. We can't say that. We can't say that. Can't say that. The Fire Flames can say it. I can say it. But many of you can't say that. Can't say that. Nope. The men. If you thought Diddy was guilty, it's one thing. It's one thing to think someone is guilty because that's your right. Like some people say they think he's guilty on certain charges. That's your right. Me personally, I don't give a fuck one way or the other. But I will say this. When it comes to injustice, I don't like it. Because y'all looking at it as Diddy. I'm looking at it as justice. Or the lack of. I've always looked at it different than what most of y'all looked at it. Looked at it different. What gets me is that man was told he was too old to stand trial, and you got him standing there. That's what pierced me. I could give a goddamn less if he is guilty. What gets me is you're getting him with the RICO and trying to say Bad Boys is a criminal enterprise. So not only do you go after him, you go in the charge. You try to go after his whole business. Saying this wasn't real. Your government. But Abercrombie and Fitch get to keep his empire. The stores are still there. He doesn't even get charged. And black men are not outraged. That is what pierced me. So when I don't come on the airwaves for 2 or 3 days and won't talk about it, y'all send me these emails. Why am I on? And it's the verdict time, and you're not here, and you guys get mad at me, and all this type of shit. And then there's people who are in my chat, but they be out there on the ground too in New York. Then you say, I'm not a trial vlogger. I tell everybody that. I'm not a trial vlogger. You guys want me to be. That's why when I do talk about Diddy, I talk about other things as well. I do reaction videos because I'm not finna fall in that realm. But what I will say is there's reasons why I'm not a trial vlogger. When I do videos on people that I disapprove of, that's down with our people being mishandled in our justice system, and we're for it, and we're all for it, and we all support that kind of shit, and we talk to these type of people, and I see them out there on the New York streets outside the Diddy trial. See, all the people out there that was wolfing and cussing loud and talking to all the women you hear and all that kind of shit, that's nothing. You hear that on every urban street. That's nothing. But me, as passionate as I am, and the videos I make of people, I'm passionate about it. And I'm for real about it. I don't just come at you to come at you. I come at you because I'm feeling some type of way. And to see you in person, couldn't do it. I said, these people will trick you to the penitentiary. You sit up there and go there. Somebody like me. But other people who can tame themselves a little better and act like an adult of their age, I'm too emotional. I'm still working on that as my age. I'm too emotional. But the fact is, I know it. So therefore, I don't do it. So I seen one guy out there, anti-Diddy. He anti-everybody that's charged with a Me Too, and had his own fucking Me Too claim. Got fired from a network for being inappropriate with a makeup artist. He sits his ass out there judging Diddy. Torre. So when my man was talking to him, and he was like, you think that Cassie wanted to be peed on? Yeah, bitch, because she sat up there and said it on the stand, pee on me. Like people don't tell people to pee on them. So they had to tell this bastard what she said, and he arguing with them, and his ass just got there because it's verdict time. But this motherfucker literally had a case his damn self where he got fired. And he was in Surviving R. Kelly, and this motherfucker is out there on the New York streets. And I'm thinking to myself, why ain't the fuck nobody kicking his ass? Especially Diddy's best friend. Shit, if there's ever a time to join Diddy, it'll been that damn time. Out there talking shit. Thinking to myself, this would never happen if it was another community in another race. It seemed like all our men is getting charged with RICO. There is no RICO in Weinstein. You giving them all your black men. And then you women, you feminists, you young, you just don't understand the bigger picture. And I'm scared. I'm a certain age, but you millennials, I'm scared by the time y'all do understand, it's gonna be too late for you. You don't understand. You think on emotion. Well, he got her addicted to drugs. Okay. He had the men pee on her. These grown ass men. Nobody got to take accountability for nothing. If you rich and famous, it's all on you. If y'all don't give a goddamn, ain't nothing I can do. Shit. Because all I kept saying yesterday, I'm going to tell you the truth. What I kept saying yesterday, when it was Kels, they didn't give a damn. Never thought in a million years, 5, 6 years later, it'd have been you. Who gonna be next? Because if you think they got Diddy and you know what's so funny? They literally really do think that they're untouchable because they got caught. Now you gotta remember, Diddy and Kels was at the top of the game and they got snatched up by the feds. Why the hell y'all think y'all won't get snatched up? Man, I would get so many people down there at the motherfucking at the Capitol so quick. What the hell's going on with the rich men in Rico? Because when Hugh Hefner was alive, there was no such thing as Rico, but the Rico statute existed. You don't even see, they tried to come for his estate. They put that shit on lock when it was the Me Too movement. I always told y'all, white people know the power of scrutiny. They know the power of putting everything out in the neighborhood. Let me tell y'all something. Let me even just not even go there. Let me tell you the difference. When you speak things into the atmosphere, you can speak things into existence and you manifest it, and then you can create copycats. It happens. It happens. Yes, it does. When you don't speak it and you don't say it and you conceal it, nobody knew it really happened, or if it happened at all, they shut it down, then you ain't got no problems nowhere else in the world. So in other words, what I'm saying to you is, in the suburbs where we say, a lot of people say where the rich, wealthy white folks live, they not going to let the news come out there and put maybe one or two domestic violence situation or some crazy situation will make the media every now and again. But if it's too much, they're going to shut that down. You're not going to make us look bad. They're going to shut it down. They know the power of scrutiny. Black people ain't got that yet. We just learned generational wealth and we getting that taken away from us. You know what I'm saying? So the fact of the matter is, they know that. But you go over here in this urban areas, LA and Detroit and all this and that, they'll tell you crime after crime every day, all day. Every day, all day. Every day, all day. It'll be reporting on the news. We got another shooting. We got another this. They're just speaking because nobody is on them about scrutiny and shutting the fuck up. Do you know that if the media never say a lot of the crime will drop? It's a fact. You speak it out here. You manifest it in the area into which it would dwell. I reached out, inbox and all this and that. You got bloggers out there that out there doing the Diddy trial. And I be like, I wonder, did they say anything about Kels? I mean, I would. No, I ain't heard nobody say nothing about R. Kelly. at another heightened profile case. I ain't never seen nobody say, they say that they probably, was there at the R. Kelly, covered R. Kelly case or whatever, but nobody said they did the same thing they did to this man. This is a pattern. That's what I've been hyped up. This is a pattern. It's interesting. There were many of them went out there. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And so I'm glad, because I just didn't want to see a bunch of Diddy fans and supporters cry today. I'm praying for a miracle, because that's all y'all gonna need. Because I've been there 5-6 years ago. When you got a man denied bail over this type of shit, we thought we was gonna get people. They said they had some blood and in the bathroom and was beat to death and, or shot. We all this shit that was in the damn civil case. None of that shit was in the same shit with Kels. None of that shit was in the damn court case that we heard for the last 5 weeks. Where's the shooting at? Where is Biggie and Tupac? Where is the plot? Where is all that? They didn't even have Keefe D come. They didn't have nobody. We got some escorts who said, well, you pay for sex for the purpose of sex, that she ordered, but she gets the immunity. How the hell you don't know? They get the immunity. The women get the immunity. It's the birthplace of the women's rights movement. It's part A of part B. Part B is California. Part A is New York. They both Hollywood. You want to be an actress? Go to California. You want to be a rapper? Go to California and New York. Want to be an actor? Go to New York. You want to have your own talk show? Go to New York. New York, California. It's A and B. They connected. Tyler. And then you got Oprah. Oprah comes out and says she never was at the Diddy party. Now she can say something. She feels like she knows basically where it's going. She got heads up. So now she turned her back. That bitch ain't never stood by nobody at no time. I don't know why people still support her. TD Jakes ain't shit for him to be a damn pastor or a bishop or whatever the fuck he got. He call himself. I wouldn't let that man pray over me and put hands on me at no given time. Look, let me tell you something. I let Ned the Wino pray over me before I let Bishop T.D. Jakes pray over me. Act like they don't even know this man. Act like they don't even know that. I said, damn, they really ain't no friends in the industry. You go down there and turn their back on you. Oprah is one of the coldest motherfucking hearted women I know, even that damn near 80. I was like, nobody but Kanye West? Nobody? People, they scared of their career. Nobody. I could not have a career where I can't stand by a friend who helped me get on because my career can be, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I just been canceled. I can't do it. I have to find me some, nobody. They did Kels the same way. Nobody. The only one that stood by Kels, they basically, like Kanye stood by Diddy, was damn Bow Wow. Bow Wow speak up on Kels and speak highly of Kels on any platform and don't give a shit. He didn't believe the damn ex-wife and nobody else. He didn't believe none of that shit. None of it. I ain't believe it. I don't believe none of that shit. It's just common sense. You just can't be getting married and then come back and then, girl, bye. This shit like Cassie. Then they say, because I couldn't be I wouldn't follow the judge's rules. I probably would. I'd be like, yeah, I am following the judge's rules. And I'm looking at the evidence, and to me, it's just not. It's just not. To me, it's just not. It's not given. I don't believe it. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he was selling narcotics. I'm not convinced. That's less than what? Less than a gram? Less than this? Less than that? I'm not convinced. People say, well, he with the intent to distribute. Well, he probably won't get people say he could get 15 years just for that. At Fed time, I don't know if it's anything like the state, but I know a certain amount. It got to be a certain amount. I know the amount of the drug. It does matter. So 0.7, I could about imagine how much time he'd get for 0.7. Because if he get a lot of time for 0.7 ecstasy, whatever the fuck the drugs is, I don't do drugs, so I don't know. But I know the number. They were saying 0.7. And a pocket, just a handful of drugs, and you talking about some major weight, like it's suitcases of it. Everybody should be down there protesting. Everybody, especially in New York. Everybody should be. It don't have nothing to do with somebody's innocence or guilt all the time. I told you. Overcharging, over sentencing is still injustice. It's injustice. And the feds are known to overcharge. People always have this thing, when the feds got your ass, they got you. Well, if that's the case, why the Innocence Project always helping them get out? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like when the feds they got a 95% conviction rate. But all over here, when the Innocence Project try to get these people out and overturn their convictions and pardon, what is the real percentage rate? So he got to be like Kels. He got to be in the maximum federal institution for having girlfriends. Not that he snatched strangers off the street. Not that he was a big drug dealer. They buzzed thousands of pounds of cocaine. They had $1.5 million worth of drugs come up on shore. Did y'all read about that? $1.5 million came up on shore. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't have no images up for y'all. I'm so sorry. There. Been talking for 45 minutes to an hour. 40 minutes and didn't have no images up. I'm so sorry. You heard about that? Yeah, I heard about that. Now, Diddy just got 0.7 grams, some personal drugs, and he a drug dealer. He was somebody else, he'd be an addict. Black people hate on each other so bad. I can't even blame white people. I'm more disappointed in black people. I'm so disappointed in my black people, I don't know what to do. I really am. Back in the day, 20 some years ago, paying her $20 million doing 10 months in jail, that would have been it. He would have been home. Black people didn't go for that shit years ago. Today, y'all millennials, y'all, oh my God, y'all the most, oh my Lord Jesus. Whew. Well, that ain't in my group, so. It's just one of those things that I just feel sad for his family, his daughters, and everybody else. I just pray that a miracle happens. I pray for things to get overturned, just like Jussie Smollett. That boy's supposed to been dead 4 months. They got him out of there in 4 days, and it was closed, sealed, and nothing else was of it. I'm hoping that he got them big bad lawyers, and I'm hoping that they go take that shit right to Trump. I really do. I wouldn't waste months dealing with the courts of appeals. I wouldn't even waste it. Waste no time. No time. If I was Trump, all these Me Too claims would be overturned. I pardon all of them. Me Too ain't got no business in the courtroom. I couldn't be a jury. You can't tell me a person, you a victim, but he paying your rent. But we still go victimize you. But he all the bad guy. He made you do all these free calls. Then what got me was when they said, well, she can want the free calls, but the moment she said she didn't want to do it, then she didn't consent to it. Yeah, but that don't mean it was by force. He ain't put a gun with a knife, what? Did he say, well, they was in there arguing. So they was arguing about the free calls as the free calls were happening on a couple that already argued, that's strung out on drugs. Like, this is what we doing. This is where my tax money is going. Like, I told you I want my tax money back. Like, I really do. I really do. I really do. It serves no purpose for me as a black woman to pay taxes to help hang black men, like, on these charges. I don't want federal courts to be residing over boyfriend, girlfriend shit. Well, today she wanted to have sex, but tomorrow she didn't, but the next day she did. I don't want my tax money on that bullshit. That's bullshit to me. Like, I don't want my tax money on that bullshit. You get what I'm saying? I don't want my tax money spent on that BS. I don't want my tax money be on no girlfriend, boyfriend type shit anyway. So, men, you could be married to your wife. Then they come out, because I noticed that when they come out with shit, it's a reason why they secretly push that. So we need to start knowing what's on these bills. We need to and before they go in front of Congress, we need to have somebody who for the bill and somebody who against the bill. We need to have a whole new different democracy now, because things is changing. And I'm just saying, just like I remember a few years ago they were saying, yeah, your husband go to jail for raping you. And I'm thinking to myself, I say what? Yeah, women husbands rape them, they go to jail for raping them. So all I'm thinking is, if somebody argued me, I wouldn't want to be with you anymore. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, if you SA me, argue me, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. So if I can go to the police and say you did this, we're not together anymore. So if I go to the police and say my husband R'd me or SA'd me, that means we were probably already estranged, already separated. I don't want to have nothing else to do with him anyway. And he probably did something like that, then I would. These people be in relationships in the same house saying it was Monday and Tuesday was consensual, Wednesday wasn't, Thursday and Friday was consensual. What? The manipulation of that. Nobody challenged it. Nobody challenged. No, I kind of disagree with that. What I'm saying is, if you gonna label somebody a R word, whether it's husband, boyfriend, or anything, that's it. Why would I sit up there and consent after being R'd? That's some delusional shit. That's the point I'm making. Think about it. If you are a woman and your husband are you, that for one, that should be the end of the marriage, or you already estranged. And then, but these women are not that. These women are saying they were R'd or SA'd or forced to do something, and then the next day they consented to doing it. And then the law says, well, she can do it Monday and Tuesday and not Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. But if she said that one time, then that means that was that. No. We got to change that. No. You got to be some type of delusion to go back to doing anything or being with anybody that make you do something vulgar and vile and take you against your will. And then you go back to them the very next day. And then 10 years later, you can say, well, it was one time I didn't want to do it. And then they got to go. Nobody playing that game. See, that's why I said y'all needed to change them laws. Y'all was making them millions. Y'all black men were making the millions and stuff like that. Y'all need to change these laws. So what pissed me off right here, let me see this. I'm sitting up here listening to Armand Wiggins. And this belongs to the channel of Armand Wiggins. Does not belong to the channel of Spittin. Please make sure, all right, please make sure you go and visit the Armand Wiggins channel, and please make sure that you let me see. Why is it not happening? Please make sure you visit Armand Wiggins channel, and then not only that, please make sure you support as independent content creators are in partnership with YouTube and not part of mainstream media. But let me see. Where's my jiggle at? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. I think it's up. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so wait a minute, that's not what I want up. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Where is it? This one. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. But this one can go right here. I don't know where it is. But anyway, I'll find it later. But anyway, we doing this under fair use. All right? Now, the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for the purpose of such criticism, news reported, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is used by copyright statute that may otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So let's listen to this. And this is supposed to be Charlie Lucci, Diddy's right hand, right? Okay, so let's get it.
So I caught up with him to ask him a couple questions. So the first question is, if we get a guilty verdict, how does this change the trajectory of dating, especially men with power, money, and access, and women? Like, what happens?
Oh, you have to go AI. You're going to have to create your own woman, and you have to date on AI, virtual. I mean, AI is looking good right now, so, I mean, you're not going to be able to trust women. Because everything now is being looked at as, if they can convict him on something like this, I mean, you can't, anything you do to a woman, she can bring a charge on you about.
That's what I thought. I thought what
safe.
was interesting was the distribution part. Like, just because you handed her the pill,
So
to do
means-
that was very interesting to me.
No, yeah, it's very crazy. How many times you been out somebody? I don't even smoke weed, right? Matter of fact, I've seen people have people who puff a cigarette. Can I get a puff of that? You have people a person's cigarette. You having a drink? Can I get a sip of that? It's just when you're doing drugs. It's like drugs. I guess it's like when someone's smoking weed or drinking, they share it. Here you go. I didn't know sharing drugs or sharing drinks or sharing cigarettes could be a crime. I didn't know that.
Well, I guess what's the interesting part is that it could be a crime because all of a sudden a person could say, I was coerced or I was uncomfortable or he made me do.
If you asked me for it,
Right.
If ketamine was not Puff's drug of choice.
Yeah.
Ecstasy, and he did a little bit of coke or whatever the case may be, but ketamine, I don't know how you say it, was Cassie's choice of drug. Even the text he told her, I don't like this drug. I don't like the way it make me feel. Can we stop doing that? She got upset because he didn't want to do ketamine.
Wow. Okay, and so if we get a not guilty verdict, right? What happens? He gets go home free, party. We forget about everything, or where do we go from here?
Well, as a culture, we're very short-sighted. So if it's not in the news, nobody cares. So he goes home, right? He starts putting his life back together, and he goes on to be a better father, better friend, a better entrepreneur, and and he just move forward. That's it. There's nothing else. He didn't commit a crime, so there ain't too much for him to do. His personal business, okay, his dirty laundry's out there, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is now. That's it.
But do you think, like, because I'm a gay man, right? And
Right.
so, especially in our culture, hip hop culture, when you see, we're not really accepted in that community, right? So now
I
when
disagree.
Okay.
I don't think you guys are not accepted. You probably got a lot of gay men and gay women in the industry that's probably don't want to come out for whatever reason, right? But I don't think that y'all shunned it or anything like that at all. I really don't. I've been in this game a long time.
So you don't think that the people will look at him different because they see the male escorts, or that doesn't change anything?
No, but
in the
see,
baby oil?
Well, Puff never did nothing with baby oil with the male escorts. Let's start there. Right?
Okay.
He was never intimate with these men. They never did a threesome together with the man. You follow me? He would get off watching. He was a voyeur. He would get off watching the guy have sex with her.
Okay.
And he'll take in a room for them two to be together.
Okay.
All right. If you remember back, maybe like 3 weeks ago, the guy testified that he was looking at Puff. And Puff asked him, "What is he looking at? Why are you looking at me?" Right. So he's not homophobic, but he's not homosexual either. You follow me?
All right. So yeah, I think that's
Kinky.
So that's
Puff is
what
kinky.
it's really all about. All right, again, that's Armand's Wiggins. Does not belong to the channel of Spittin' Fire. We did that under fair use. That's what it was all about. So a lot of times when I be talking about these organizations and stuff like that, people think I'm actually coming after the gay community. I'm not coming after the gay community. I'm not. And people cannot if you go after their organization, they feel like it's a personal attack on them. And if anybody out there that listens to Spittin' Fire that think that me going after organizations such as the LGBTQ is attacked on you, you misunderstanding and misinformed of what my channel is about. Because I don't like no organizations. I don't support none of them. I don't support the liberal organizations at all. I do not support the LGBTQ. I do not support Me Too movement. hashtag Me Too. I do not support Black Lives Matter. I do not support, no longer now supporting the NAACP. I do not support no liberal organizations. Okay? So, again, if you are pro-black and pro-gay and pro-this, and you think that that identifies who you are, what these organizations are, you mistaken what this channel is about, what my message about, and everything else. It has nothing to do with gay people. Gay people in my family, gay people all over the world, just like black people all over the world. But these organizations ain't shit. They all sit up there and play on us for monetary gain and ain't did shit for neither one or nobody. I don't see the LGBTQ organization. Again, I see organization. Did anything for the gay community. They did it themselves. All they did was give you a fucking logo, which was rainbow. That was it. That's all the fuck they did. They ain't doing nothing. So I think that NAACP ain't did shit for black people, right? They had somebody infiltrate them that was white and didn't even know that they were black all these damn decades. BLM, they done ran off with all the money, right? They ain't did nothing. All them people that sat up there, looted and burned down their cities, thinking that police officers was bad. They turned you against the police officers who police your neighborhoods, burned down your community, and got almost $1 billion and didn't even give it back to the businesses to help rebuild. Okay? Me Too movement. We see this shit right here. That's all I got to say on that one. So no, I don't support none of them. None of them. And I don't support any candidate that support any of them. Because you're going to be about the movement as opposed to about the people. Your political officials, candidates, should not be advocating for special interest groups. As a person who was registered Democrat all her life, I did not vote Democrat this go around for the first time. My candidate should not be marching in LGBTQ organizations. You are a candidate for the United States government. You're neutral. You're supposed to stay out of all that shit. If it ain't for the life and liberty of the citizens of the United States, you ain't supposed to be in special interest groups. You're supposed to make sure their rights are not violated, make sure my rights are not violated, and everything else. That's how that's supposed to go. But when you got people marching in gay parades and stuff like that, no. And it ain't got nothing to do with being anti-gay. That ain't making no. Some people march in the gay parade and still homophobic or gay-phobic or whatever you call that. They still have that phobics y'all say they are. That don't mean shit. Just because somebody will perform at a gay parade don't mean that they ain't phobic. They'll take your money and still call you the F word. Shit. I mean, it is what it is. That's just how it is. That don't mean a damn thing. So that's where it is. Because Armand Wiggins, he was talking about how he believed Diddy is guilty of all this and that and blah, 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 blah. Because in their community, they want to separate. They want to separate the man and the woman. They want to separate the heterosexual activity. So they going against the men. They going against them. Because if they, you heard what he talked to him about. Well, Diddy should have came. Diddy ain't gay. He ain't never touched no gay man. The man. He like, oh, okay. But if he would have came out, if Diddy would have came out as gay, see if he would have been for or against them. I'm just saying. was just saying. They more concerned about that. See, that's what, man, look. They don't like him because you the man, you got the money, you got all the women. But if Diddy was gay, he wouldn't have no RICO problem. I'm telling you that right now. You see Abercrombie and Finch, what he did with them boys, he ain't got no problems. Because even though New York is the women's rights movement, it's also the gay movement. They was the first one to legalize gay marriage. The first state. So therefore, they don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna press him. Cause if he gay, they ain't pressing him. He protected. Like Jussie Smollett, protected. They going after the heterosexual black man. Yeah. Cause if they feel like they go after the heterosexual black man, they get the kids and they can turn the women out. Well, I don't know why they could turn the women out anyway. A lot of the millennials and younger, they deal with all that shit. They call it fluid. That's what they call it. It's just too much goddamn instruction for me. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my era. People try to tell me some things. Well, I'm a certain age. I don't know all that. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't know all that. You know. So, it is what it is. But I just feel so sorry for Diddy. And I pray that some things happen to where it overturns a lot of this shit. And the judge, to me, was biased. Diddy did not know what to say when he said last week, "You're doing a good job," because you're not. He was biased. There was no way, after looking at this trial and hearing this trial, right, that he shouldn't even got a bond. The way that they swatted this man's house over this particular case is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And if I give you a pill and we doing drugs, it's you distributing. And if you order sex but you gave me the money and I told the police you did it, or the prosecutors you did it, you the rich when you get caught. I'm gonna get immunity to testify against you because I am. That's a problem. That's a problem. I feel like it's I just can't. I would be like, I just would be the type of juror that's just be like, no, you ain't proved shit. Like, I followed the rules of the law, and I'm not convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm sorry. I'm just not. But you got to be the 35% of the Milgram experiment to sit in the jury room. If you're not the 35%, if you could be swayed, if you don't, because me, I go up against authority, and it could be a lot of people. I'm going to still hold my own. You know, so it's. I just didn't want to look at that. Yeah, the raids of his home, the Diddy parties. They said some people were underage. Girls was on tables being forced to do the things. They said all this stuff. And when we get to the damn trial, it's some bullshit. And the fact is, remember when he first got arrested, they was trying to get Diddy out. And the judge said, based on these charges and the nature of this case and what's going on in the media and the rumors and shit that he's been accused of doing for millions of years, no, he ain't getting out. He a danger to society and community. And come to find out, it's some bullshit. We got what? Capricorn, Clark, Mia, Jane, and 4 motherfuckers. 4. Abercrombie and Finch had about 30 or 40 boys. You see what I'm talking about? Like, this shit don't make no sense. This shit don't make no sense. I'm not even going to be worried about it. I'm going to pray about it. I just feel so bad about those who really are. I've been in this situation with R. Kelly. And Diddy didn't give a damn when it was R. Kelly. Who was his name? What's his name? Tyler Perry didn't give a damn. No other celebrities gave a damn. The only one spoke out and said they praying for him was Bill Cosby. He reached out. His publicist reached out to his attorney and they did some talking and everything else because they understood. But I bet you $5 if he get out, he will understand. He will understand. Jay got a little taste of it, but he quickly forgot and went back to his life. But I wouldn't, because if you can accuse me and I didn't do anything and you got people hating me, just the fact that he was accused, women was attacking Jay-Z. They didn't even know this girl. I'm telling you. I don't know what you black men, especially you rich ones, I don't know what y'all got to do, but y'all need to have a secret caucus. And y'all need to figure out where y'all gonna put y'all money, and y'all need to get these motherfucking feds up off y'all. Yes, indeed. Y'all rich, you black, you're handsome. Some of you ain't handsome, but with the money, you look handsome. And these women go be vindictive, manipulative, and call it out. All you got to do is be accused and you lose everything and all your endorsements. Y'all better get a hold of this. I don't give a damn about no ass kickings in no goddamn hotel. Ain't nobody, these motherfuckers out here been getting ass kickers for nothing. Okay? I don't care for, especially some 10-year-old shit. I don't give a fuck about that. All right? She should have said something 10 years ago. You just don't get to keep shit bottled up. You supposed to move on with your husband, but you circle back around and get some money. And you circle back around and got some dick a couple times. If I was Diddy, I'd have told Cassie, give me all my dick back then. Shit. All that. Spinning the block, getting some one couple last times. Let me get some more of that. She knows she wrong. She took the money and got some ding-a-ling. She took the money and got the ding-a-ling. Cassie knows she goddamn wrong as shit. Shit, I know he like this bitch. I done sat there and gave her some more. And that's why I know she lied. Talk about he little. He could have been that goddamn little. You wanted it a couple more times and lied to your goddamn husband about it. Could have been that goddamn little. If it's little, it must be little and powerful, goddamn it. That's for sure. You know what? I believe so. If Diddy would take her back, she'll go back. I believe so. I believe she did this to get him away from Young Miami, to break their shit up. She keeps seeing them all on the internet and she wishing it was her. I believe that. I hope Trump really shut down this Me Too shit, cause these victimhoods getting out of hand. Okay. Oh yeah, we can't say Young Miami and Jane. She might get to shoot. That goddamn podcast. That Sean G crazy shit. Yeah, he must shut this shit down because he been charged and claimed with that. I don't understand why these men be claims with it. Now you empowered to do something about it, and that ain't the first on your mind. I just don't get these men. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm going to listen and hear the verdict when everybody else hears the verdict. I may not speak on it right when the verdict is read, but you know, it is what it is. I just hope, I pray that this juror go back in there and have a change of heart. Because I feel like this. If you don't do nothing else, I will hung that motherfucker. I'd be like, sorry, judge, we're hopelessly deadlocked. You know what I'm saying? You got to find another jury pool. We ain't the ones. Because this man's family, she got 20 million. She gone. She back home with her family. This was 10 years ago. Then he's still paying his bitch rent. I'm not even finna get in this shit. I was like, look, I thought this was a real case. I don't even respect this as a real case, let alone to be able to follow some laws that y'all trying to make the law. And that's what this is. When you get them to, that means you giving them drugs. I do that. If I smoke weed, I do that. I may puff it and give it to somebody. So I'm distributing. I don't give a fuck what this judge say. There's no way you gonna get me to do that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. We don't know. We don't know. We do not know. Okay? But he paying them lawyers a lot of money. A lot of money. And you better get, like, if he get a guilty verdict next 2 weeks, I better be in the courts of appeals. Seriously. It has nothing to do with this case. It has nothing to do with the case. It's supposed to be for prior bad acts. That's what got Bill Cosby case overturned. Trying to use prior bad acts. Right? All right. All right, here we go. We back. Yeah, they reporting, y'all, my stream. So I'm going to go on and get up out of here. All right. They reported my stream. They just kicked me off temporary for 3 seconds. So I'm going to go and get up out of here. I'm going to talk to y'all later. All right. Until next time, fire out.
He say, she say, we say, I say, hearing out them points of views when I see it my way. Yes it goes, yes it knows, maybe so's, probably not. Shoulds and coulds, do's and don'ts, your wills and won'ts is how you rock. Politicians and religions on your house, or are you renting? Is you married? Is you single? Meta interest when you mingle, turn out to be someone you into. So how long before the bed get wrinkled? Raise children when they tripping. Is it time out or do you whip them? Opinions and decisions, hunches, intuitions, may or may not get it, cause people's experience different. Check the prejudice at the door. Speak the mind, you give the flow. Tell the truth if it's sweet or sour, cause the hour we spitting that fire.